Welcome back. Thank you very much for staying with us. Now, Ethekwini Deputy Mayor Philani Mavundla is refusing to vacate his position quietly. He says he has an agreement with the ANC that's in place until 2026. Mavundla was unseated after the ANC tabled a motion of no confidence against him. Poor performance has been cited as the reason for the Deputy Mayor's axing. To discuss this further, we're joined by Ethekwini Regional Secretary Musa Nciki. Mr. Nciki, good morning and thank you very much for your time. So you are citing underperformance as a chairperson of the Human Settlements and Infrastructure portfolio as reasons for Mr. Mavundla's removal. Just talk to us about this poor performance.
I think actually it's not a poor performance, but however, we were saying that there were a lot of outcry outside there, and the people who were complaining about the issues of service delivery, specifically on water and sanitation issues. We have also looked at the status of the beaches that are closed, and these complaints were coming directly to the ANC. And we said it's about time where we take a decision to take a full responsibility of this outcry and be able to respond to this outcry. However, it was difficult for us to respond because we were not championing the portfolio that was dealing with that infrastructure up until we recall our city back as the ANC, so that we can be able to deliver quickly and respond quickly to the outcry outside there in the Ethekwini areas.
Had you engaged Mr. Mavundla throughout this period around the poor performance or the issues? Because he was on the show last week after that collapsed sitting, saying that the ANC wants him out because they want to get their hands on the infrastructure budget. They want that portfolio, that ESCO seat.
I think one and foremost, normally when you deployed someone in this seat, as that seat was belonged to the ANC in terms of our proportional vote, you expect that individual to account and take the mandate and also get the guidance of how he will be able to go and do those service delivery. However, this was not the type of the arrangement that we had with him, and we had difficulties to engage on those issues. But previously, we've been speaking to him on the issues and said there are issues really that are not going well. We rather take the full responsibility of it, and I think that's how we have come up to the decision to say no. Let us recall our city, then be able to delegate someone who will be able to account and take the mandate, because you must remember that the ANC is the leader of the society. We always try to respond to the society. Yes.
Now, he mentioned that EXCO seat that you wanted back was part of the agreement you entered into, which ends in 2026. So what happens there? Because he's saying now you have gone against that very agreement.
No, I think one will need to give a clarity on these issues of this agreement. The agreement that the ANC had was the collusion with different small parties, not only Mavundla and the APC. And we have asked him, because we have just get into the office, we have asked him if he can share with us a copy of that agreement with all the signatures of other small political parties. Then we'll be able to engage him from there. So now we are talking about the agreement that is not there. The agreement that we're having with the smaller parties, the bloc, is not there.
So there was no agreement between you and smaller parties. Is that what you're saying? Or you're saying that the part about you donating your EXCO seat to him is not there? Which one is it?
No, I'm saying ANC have entered a collusion with smaller parties, not only one party.
Yes.
Because how is expressing the whole issue of agreement? It's like ANC have entered the agreement with only the APC. No, there are smaller parties. I think they are amounting 2 plus minus 14 of them. We are talking about almost 17 councillors from different parties that we have collided with.
So in that agreement?
I'm saying that agreement with all the parties, signed agreement with all the parties, is not there.
So the agreement is there. And then now to the details, the substance of that agreement. Was it agreed that you would donate your EXCO seat to Mr. Mavundla, and only after 2026 would you relook any sort of other agreement?
Yeah, I think that was his demand on behalf of the smaller parties. But however, while we're in the office, we have been approached also by part of these smaller parties, saying that no, in that agreement, they are not being accommodated. So they need us to rearrange the whole discussion with them, which we are willing to do that. And we are willing to do a working document between us and them on this collusion moving forward.
But then that suggests that you sought to dissolve an agreement without all parties being in agreement, and now you want to put together a new one. Would that not create the wrong impression out there at a time when many political analysts are talking about us heading into an era of serious coalitions, that you would want to portray yourselves or the African National Congress as a party of its word, that you would follow due process if you are to dissolve a particular agreement?
I think if I've explained myself correctly, we are the part of our own word. As we've said, that the agreement that we have entered into is an agreement with all smaller parties, not one party.
Yes.
That might dispute, because now it's been portrayed like we're only having an agreement with ABC, which is not the true reflection of it. We are having the agreement with all the smaller parties that we have agreed into a coalition with.
And I don't think he disputes that. He was clear that this was an agreement with all smaller parties to put the ANC back into power. But what we're talking about is the contents of that agreement. That was it agreed, or as you say, that it was one of his demands, that if he is to vote in support of the ANC forming government in Ethekwini, he must then get the EXCO seat. That's what we were just trying to get clarity, that in that agreement with all parties, it was agreed that he would get the EXCO seat?
But that what have created the dispute with these other small parties, because exactly that what have created dispute. They came back to us and said they believe that they are in collusion with the ANC. But however, how these things have been handled, it looks like it's only one party that is having collusion with ANC, and they are thinking of moving out unless we correct this. And these are the parties who also said to us, if you can recall your seat and be able to open another platform for a proper engagement, we'll be able to go on. And it's not ending there. I can tell you, initially, Mavundla was leading this block. Then, during May, I think we were doing the budget speech. They'd call us, and they've told us that no, they are no longer being led by Mavundla. They've appointed a new chairperson and the secretary and the whip. These are new leadership that are representing the bloc, because they were unhappy with their relationship with the Mavundla. So these are the issues that were happening within the smaller parties. And we said, no, we must take a responsibility of this to correct it. Yes, we need to work with the smaller parties, but we must work clearly. We must have a proper working document with them so that we know who does what moving forward.